Well, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Today we have Sandra Landau. She is CEO of Rockstar Testimony, and today she is going to give us her Rockstar testimony. How's it going today, Sandra?
Hi, going good, going real good. I started doing my interviews today. I started All-Star Rockstar interviews, and then I started Rockstar interviews, and I'm really excited. Just a few months ago, it was just a vision. I put it on my vision board, and now I'm making it happen. It's happening, and I'm really excited.
That's so awesome. Can you explain a little bit what you're doing and how you got started?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm doing is I have created a platform called Rockstar Testimony, and it is a free awareness platform that is sponsor supported and volunteer ran. We share testimonial videos of people's life stories, testimonial videos of transformational experiences from Dave Scatchards coaching. We share testimonials of acts of kindness. And also, we're creating awareness for healthy mind, healthy body, and hope. And we are encouraging the world to pretty much rise up and band together and use the color yellow in unity so that when we see the color yellow, people know they're not alone. So that's one platform.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So if you can just tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you came from, what you've been doing, and how you got to where you are right now.
Okay, so I'm a mother of three. I have three teenagers, 16, 17, and my oldest will be 20 next week. And I am a registered nurse. I'm from Metro Detroit, Michigan. I grew up in River Rouge, which is a small city that is pretty much bordered with Detroit all the way around, other than the Detroit River. And then when I was about 12, I moved to Allen Park, which is also Metro Detroit. Now I live in Grosse Pointe, and that's like on the other side of Detroit. It's like east side. So I live like blocks away from the east side of Detroit. So that's where I live. What else did you want me to say?
Like your story, basically, because you created this platform and you want to help people, but there's a story behind it. There's always a story in how you want to help people. So what is your story and why do you want to help people?
All right. So my story. This is my all-star rockstar testimony. So I will start with a life struggle that I had. Excuse me, I was about 30 years old and I had just became a registered nurse, and I started my first job in the emergency department. And I loved that job. I was able to help people through mental and physical illnesses and trauma, and it was amazing and really fulfilling. About maybe a year and a half or two into me working that job, I started having some flashbacks of trauma cases that I worked in the cold room, and it started to affect me a little bit. And right around that time that I started having that, I found out that there had been infidelity in my marriage. And at that time, it was very shocking to my system. And I lost friends. I lost a lot of friends. I lost family. I lost his family, and I lost some members of my own family. So it was like I woke up one day, literally, and everybody around me was just gone. It felt like everybody had died. Like I had never felt so much shock and like pain and alone in my entire life.
Yeah, no doubt.
It was just way too much for my system. And I still had 3 kids I was trying to raise through this. And I also still worked in the emergency department. However, I started having panic attacks. And how these would happen for me is I would get this sharp pressure, pain, like a jolt, like in my chest and like in my kind of like upper belly area. And it would just be like this weight. And it would just like hit me. And then I would just like start to panic. And so I would have to go in the bathroom at work and reorient myself to pretty much reality because I was panicking. And I was afraid to ask for help because I'm a nurse. Like we help people.
Yeah.
It didn't feel natural for me to ask. So when that would happen, I would just tell my charge I was sick and I had to go home. And I eventually quit my job as an ER nurse because the anxiety and PTSD and depression and everything I was going through at the time was just way too much. Um, so I quit my job there, and it was such a change for me because I had loved that job, and I had worked so hard to become a nurse, raising 3 kids and working and doing everything. I like fought like hell just to make it through nursing school and get my boards. So when I had to quit that job, I felt like I was like quitting nursing. And at the same time, I had just lost all these family members, all these friends. I was losing my high school sweetheart. We were together for 17 years and we had 3 kids. So essentially, I was losing my identity. And so from there, I pretty much went into a pit of horrific, horrible panic attacks and night terrors and just so much emotional pain that I couldn't function. And at the same time, I had these 3 kids that I had to raise, and I did my best. But let's be real, I was losing my mind. I feel like I was having, a mental breakdown and identity crisis.
Yeah, it doesn't help that you're feeling alone too, right?
Right, right. Yeah. So through all that, I actually met my new husband. I got married. I got married probably a year and a half after my first divorce. And I was still in the pit pretty much. I had a job. I became a nurse case manager and I was facilitating care. However, there was so much stuff going on in my personal life that it was hard to even still manage that job. My daughter, she didn't like the new husband, and she was still grieving the divorce of her parents, and I was still grieving the divorce, from her dad. And it was so much going on. And we ended up I ended up having to like fight for my daughter because she excuse me, she didn't want to live with me, and she was only one of my children that didn't want to live with me. And as a mother, that just like it broke my heart, and it like killed the maternal connection. And that and the trauma of having to like share my children, you don't think about it as an emotional trauma. But for me, I was a mother since I was 17 years old, and that was my identity. I woke up for them. Everything I did was for them. And when I had to share them for a whole week, it was like, I don't know, what do I do? I don't even know who I am. I don't even. And so instead of trying to find who I am and create a life for myself, I actually got on all of these like antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds and like all of the stuff that my psychiatrist was giving me, or a psychologist. I get those mixed up even though I'm a nurse, but it's okay. Anyways, I had all this stuff in my system, and it was just like it was overwhelming. It was so overwhelming.
A recipe for disaster, it sounds like.
Yeah. So, and to back up a little bit, in fighting for my daughter, I had never been like a violent person to other people, but there was an instance where someone had threatened to take my daughter from me. And I like, something came over me and it was like my mama bear came out and I hit her in the face. And like that was out of my character. But I ended up getting a PPO for that. I had a PPO for a year. During that time, that same week of the PPO, it was just so much for me that I tried to commit suicide. I sat down. Yeah, yeah. I sat down at my kitchen table and I knew what I wanted to do. I sat down and I drank a bottle and a half of my favorite wine, and I had a bottle of Xanax. And I sat down and I recorded a video. I've never shared this with anybody. I've never shared this story.
You're doing so good, though. You're doing so good.
So I sat down, I recorded a video, and I told my kids I loved them, and I apologized to my ex-husband and to my current husband and to my family and to my kids and to my friends. And then I wrote letters, and I still have these letters, and you can see when I start to lose consciousness because my writing is not legible anymore. So just before I lost consciousness, I guess had enough consciousness to send the video. I sent the video at the time to my ex-husband, and he watched the video and he sent it to my dad, and my dad called my husband. My husband wasn't home. And my husband came home and found me unconscious. I'm not sure at the time if I was at the table. I don't know if I was on the floor. I never asked him. But I know I somehow made it to the couch because he told me, that they brought me to the couch, and then they called 911, and he called my neighbors over because he didn't know what to do. He was scared. And he couldn't arouse me. He couldn't get me to speak. And I can remember, like, I had some type of experience where, like, I could see myself. Like, it was like I was looking down on my body on the couch. It was like the strangest, weirdest experience ever. But I don't, like, that's all I had, like, as a visual. And literally, I have no more memory until the next day. I woke up and I was already out of the trauma room, and I woke up to my parents sitting next to me.
Wow.
And then my husband, he called me to find out what I wanted to eat because he was on his way to bring me food. And then I found out that my sister was at my bedside the entire night holding my hand. While I was pretty much unconscious at the hospital. So that was that.
You weren't alone.
Alive, I didn't succeed.
That's so good.
So my pit was dark, and I had so much Xanax in my system that the next few days was just like a blur for me. I have no memory of the next few days. Like, I don't even remember driving home or riding home. I don't remember anything. And just for time's sake, I'll kind of fast forward a little bit. After that, I had some instances with my current husband, and I ended up going to jail. After that, we had a house fire. I accidentally burned my house down. I left a space heater on, and it was a new digital space heater. I had a blanket that was too close to it, apparently. Now, looking back, I know that that's what caused it. And so my whole house burned down. Pretty much the only thing that was left was the outside brick. And so there was a lot of emotional trauma from that as well. Um, my dogs were in the house and they were very sick and we almost lost them. So I had a lot of guilt and shame, and we lost all of our personal belongings. I lost all my baby pictures of my children. We lost everything.
That's hard.
And we moved into a hotel downtown Detroit, and we had 3 kids. Well, 2 kids, because my daughter didn't stay with us. We had 2 kids and 3 dogs in a hotel room, and we bounced from hotel to hotel, and we got a rental off the water, which was beautiful. And we were able to stay there for 6 months, but we were out of our house for probably a year and a half. We ended up at an Airbnb. And then all in the meantime, my children were going through things from the emotional traumas that they've sustained from the divorce and from the current marriage and just the mental state that I was in. So we were all trying to deal with that. And excuse me, to cover up all that pain, I didn't know how to cope. And I still had this anxiety and these panic attacks and these night terrors. And I started abusing prescription medication. I had been prescribed Adderall for focus. I had been prescribed Xanax for panic. So I had time periods where I would just Adderall up. I'd take as many as I could. When I felt one wearing down, I'd just take another. Excuse me. And I lived like that for a while. And then at one point, I took so much Adderall that I was awake for like 3 days. And I didn't really eat. And I literally, I had to take Xanax to make myself sleep. And I slept for 2 days. And then after that, I got on a prescription Xanax binge, where for the next 2 years, I pretty much was a functioning addict. I would wake up and I would do my job. And as soon as my job was over, which was facilitating care from home, I would take Xanax and go to sleep. And I would set my alarm to just before my husband got home, and I would wake up. So I would be awake for dinner and awake for him to be home. And then I would take more Xanax to go back to sleep. And I pretty much just slept my life away for 2 years.
Wow.
One day I literally, I'm not sure what it was, but I woke up and I was just laying there and I just had this thought, what the hell am I doing? I literally just slept my life away. I have no connection with my kids anymore. I'm just hiding from this pain and barely functioning. And 2 verses came to my mind that day. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, to prosper you and not to harm you. And the other one was actually an Eminem verse. I love Eminem. I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody take my hand. And so those 2 verses literally got me out of bed. And I was that day, I just decided, you know what? I need to live. I need to be there for my kids. I need to be a better mom, a better wife, a better person. And I started doing any and everything I could to better myself. I started therapy. I joined a gym. That was after the horrible weaning and withdrawal phase. Now, that was about 6 weeks long because I was on so much Xanax. And I am a registered nurse, so I know you can't just stop. You can't just abruptly stop taking it. You have to wean it down out of your body. And for me, that experience was a horrific experience. I would lay in bed as I was withdrawing and I was sweating and I would just scream into my pillow because I wanted Xanax so bad, because the feeling that I was going through was just horrific. And that lasted for 6 weeks to go through all that. And my husband walked through that journey with me. He helped me with the weaning process, and he kept the Xanax pills. I had no access at this time to pills anymore. I had stopped getting the prescriptions from my provider, and he now was like the keeper of the Xanax. So he helped me through that, and it was rough, but I am 8 months clean. I'm 8 months clean of no Xanax. No Xanax addiction. Yay!
Nice.
I have taken I did take Xanax like one other time for a panic attack, but I haven't taken it again, and I haven't abused it. So after that, I thought I wanted to go back to school for my bachelor's. I'm like, okay, what do I want to do with my life now? It had been so long, I didn't have any hopes and dreams, and I was just like The Walking Dead. Like it was looking back, it was horrible. So I was just on the computer one day, and I found an ad for the Get Your Shit Together challenge. And I was like, At first I was like, well, maybe this is one of those, like, I don't know, I was real skeptical, and I was like, well, I do need to get my shit together. So I have nothing to lose. It's a free challenge. You know what? Let's do it. So I signed up, and I will tell you that right there was the pivotal moment that changed my life. My life has never been the same since Dave Scatchards coaching. My life has had transformational change. And I learned how to have daily routines. I learned how to love myself and forgive myself, and to really connect with my higher power. And for me, my higher power is God. I don't discriminate anybody else that's not their higher power. If you believe in universe, if you believe whatever you believe in, absolutely, I'm all for that. I don't discriminate. But for me, it was just so life changing, and I connected to my higher power on a deeper level than I ever have in my life. And I started to have relationship with my children again. And it took me pouring into myself and finding my self-worth and understanding and realizing that I'm amazing. Because I
Sorry,
felt,
the question. So you mentioned that you had to forgive yourself. How important was that moment where you were like, I need to forgive myself? Like, once you did that, what's changed?
oh, so much. So in forgiving myself, the process that I used was prayer, and also I did a lot of journaling. The process I did was I just wrote down everything that I felt guilty about or shame about, and to get that out of my system, and that was like so healing. So it was just powerful. It was just a powerful experience to have that weight. And I realized that a lot of that anxiety feeling that I had was just emotions of guilt and shame. And when you understand, like when you become aware, you can understand. And then when you can understand, you can do something about it. And so for me, that was just so powerful and so freeing that I don't have that guilt and shame like bricks on my chest anymore. I'm free. And that allows me to be my authentic self. And I learned about being my authentic self through Dave's coaching. He teaches how to connect with your authentic self and to see yourself as the purest version of your soul. And the purest version of my soul was a memory and a picture that I keep in my office. I'm actually going to show.
Absolutely, we need to see it. Let's see it.
All right. So this was my authentic soul. I was this little spunky blonde. And I'm actually holding hands praying with my sister.
Aww.
And I have a little rock on, or like a hey dude going on. And that's who I was. I was outspoken. I had no fear. I was a leader type. I had like compassion to help people even when I was 5. So my authentic self was a little blonde rock star.
You
And
are a rock star.
what'd you say?
You are a rock star.
Thank you. Um, so that was the inspiration for the platform Rockstar Testimony, and for people to share their stories. And my life had such a transformational change from Dave Scatchard's coaching, that this is my Rockstar Testimony. And it's just a little overwhelming that I'm sharing and that I'm really doing it, that this is really my Rockstar Testimony and I'm recording it. So
This was your vision, right?
yeah. Create a platform to share my story with the world. And this is a portion of my story. I have a lot of life experiences and different traumas, physical and emotional, that I've gone through, that I plan on sharing with the world so I can help heal other people through my story.
Absolutely. And you're gathering other stories as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. So that's our platform, is testimonies. And so far we have an amazing all-star, Delene, who is just launching her interview story. And hers is called Forge Through the Fire. And so essentially on Rockstar Testimony, we're going to have multiple shows, multiple interview shows, and they will be on all different subjects. And that's exactly what it is. People sharing their stories to help other people. So
I love it. And you're also promoting a challenge. Do you want to talk about your challenge that you started?
Yes, absolutely. So Rockstar Testimony has launched a challenge called the Light It Up Challenge. And so we are essentially inspiring and encouraging the world to be an example by being the light and shining your light on others. Because everyone is going through a battle right now, especially with this COVID and this pandemic. And it's just so heavy. Yes, absolutely. And so what the challenge is you do something kind, and then you challenge 3 other people by name. And then you light it up yellow in unity for hope and awareness that we're all fighting a battle. And then you can upload your pictures and videos if you want of your act of kindness, of your pictures of your house lit up yellow, your car. If you own a business, you could light up your employees with kindness, your patrons, and then you could light up your business yellow. And that's pretty much the Light It Up challenge.
So your vision and your goal is for everybody to do an act of kindness, to challenge somebody else to do an act of kindness, and we're spreading kindness to everybody in the whole world.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And also using the color yellow to light it up yellow for unity, that we should be able to go down the street and see yellow and know that someone's in our corner, that we're not alone. And I normally wear, here it is. I normally wear this, and this is a yellow, just a rubber bracelet. Yay! And I'm going to have these on our website soon. And my son wears this, and I have this, and I know I'm not alone. If I'm having a down day or I feel like I'm in the dumps, I know somebody else has this on, and I'm not alone. Yeah. So I want to make these available for anybody else. And it says inspire, encourage, example. And then it says light it up.
Love it.
Yeah, when I was going through my withdrawal, one of the things that really, helped me get to the next day was wearing inspirational bands. And honestly, for me to read an inspirational message on my wrist, sometimes that's the only thing that got me through my day. So I made these. I made 200 of them, and I'm going to have them available on our website for free. People will just have to pay for the postage. I'll have to figure out what that is, but that's part of the vision to have those.
I love it. I'm so glad that you are sharing your story for the first time today, and I'm proud of you.
Thank
So proud of you.
you. Thank you so much. So yeah, so now I'm still a registered nurse, and right now I'm working in home care. I am taking care of people who have been traumatically injured in car accidents, and I'm actually like ready to walk further on my career path. I'm kind of looking for something in teaching, um, something like that, speaking, teaching, coaching. That's kind of my next career path goal, mental health advocacy. And so I'm kind of just looking at options there. So yeah, that's a part of my story.
I love it. It's a great story, and
Thank you.
we're so glad that you're sharing your story with us, and that you've created this challenge to spread love and kindness and to light it up yellow.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so anybody watching, we challenge you to light it up. We challenge you to be the light in the darkness. And I'm only one person, but together we can light up the world.
Absolutely.
We need it. We need the light.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to before we go, I just want to say one thing. I just want to say that I'm honored to be an all-star in the Dave Scatchard coaching program. And for me, it's it's such a big thing for me to be a part of that. We celebrate each other's wins and we support each other's struggles. And we don't quit, we level up. And it's like overwhelming for me because I've never experienced so much love and so much support by a group of people in my entire life. I've never met Rosalie, but I'm so close with Rosalie. Rosalie is my sister. Like it's just amazing. It really is.
It's a beautiful family.
Yes, yes, we're a family for sure. Yeah. And Dave Scatchard, if you're watching, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you so much for giving of yourself and answering your calling to give free coaching to thousands of people. Because what you don't realize, or maybe you do realize, but I want to remind you that you are being used to transform lives. And I really feel like finding the coaching like saved my life. I feel like it was like a hand that just reached out and was like, come on, I got you, let's go. And I'm just so like thankful and grateful. And I know Dave makes fun of me because I'm always crying because I'm like always just so happy and grateful. It's just so overwhelming. So Dave, if you're watching, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And to all the all-stars and masterminds, I thank you guys for believing in me and following me honestly on my vision, in my vision, and the mission to hit back humanity.
You're a great leader, Sandra.
Thank you so much.
We're happy to be on this journey with you.
Thank you, Rosalie. Throw up your rock star now. Yay! Oh my goodness.
So how can people get involved with the Light It Up challenge? Like how can they get involved in all these amazing things you're doing?
All right. So to get involved in the Light It Up challenge, to find the actual description of the Light It Up challenge, you can go on our Facebook page. We have a public Light It Up challenge Facebook page, and the pinned post on there is a description of the challenge. So you can find it on there. And then you can also find the description of the challenge on www.rockstartestimony.com. And to just do the challenge is pretty much how you participate. You just do something kind and challenge 3 other people. So that's how you can get involved and light it up. We also are working on the Rockstar Testimony website, doing some updates, some level ups on it. where we're going to be offering free resources and free inspiration, free encouragement, free education. And so if there's anyone listening who has that to offer, we would like them to reach out to support@rockstartestimony.com. Just go ahead and email us. And we would love for, you to be involved and join this movement to make people aware. And, for Unity, we have a addiction recovery podcast that just partnered with us. And we are looking at different mental health services, wellness, mental health and wellness, physical wellness. So essentially, we want to be a platform where we share just a ton of free resources for people.
Yeah.
And so if you're watching this and you have an organization or you have a platform that you want to add to our platform, we welcome that, and you can email us.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And if anybody can relate to Sandra's story or just wants to reach out to Sandra or is needing help from Sandra, you can email Sandra at support@rockstartestimony.com, and she'll get back to you as soon as she can.
Yes, thank you so much, Rosalie. Thank you.
So much.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks.